all my goals and gratitudes.
How many are there? Count them.
There's 6, 7, 8. 8.
Nice.
Yeah. And varying thickness too, right?
Do you know when you actually started like the first date?
6/1/2020.
Wow. I didn't start till October.
Yep. 6/1/2020. And literally I've gone ever since. I did these ones first, and then I did my constellation, like zodiac ones with like the sun and I, and then Tara got me my BU one, which I embroidered that because it taught you how to do it.
Oh, cool.
Now I start, first and foremost though, was this fucking epic one you got me. I love this one. It's so cute. It has like honeycombs and bees and like the science of bees. Oh. And so then I got my bee one now. And then shout out to Adrienne. We love you. She got me this one.
Oh, I remember when she got you that one.
Yep. And now I just use this as like my business, like client tracking for the month. So then it can last me a very long time because it'll last
got me this one for my birthday. It's written in the stars. You can't even see it.
No, I can't.
But there's like
look at me like ducking around like I'm going to be able to, I'm like.
That's what I use to take notes for the podcast or for anything else.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I like the one that you got me because it was so big. Because I mean, like, look at my hand.
Yeah.
Versus. So, anyways, so like I was saying, I'm gonna bring these to my speech that I'm giving. I don't even like calling it a speech. The presentation I'm gonna give, because I think I want to start with
and looked like Soph right there.
I want to do the TED Talk that I always have my clients first listen to, because I just feel like that would be a good way to kind of like, well, I'm not going to like start the talk with that, but like we'll bring it up.
Sure. How long do you have to actually talk for?
An hour.
You have to be up there for an hour? I mean, we ran groups for an hour.
Right. But I mean, I like knew exactly what I was talking about. And I also had to rely on the kids to talk to me. And it was also like, well, we can sit here in silence if you want to. However, I am going to do my introduction. I'm going to give them cards to write down scenarios that they've had that they want to like have me process through like with them, or like discuss of like, hey, this was a really hard situation. What would you do? Or like, do you have suggestions or like whatever they want questions, so that it's anonymous, so they feel comfortable. So I'm not calling anybody out, and then give my speech, run the TED Talk. The TED Talk is 13 minutes itself, then kind of go through some skills, like coping skills, and then go to answering some. I have to put my computer in. I just realized it was gonna fucking die.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at your fucking name.
Yeah, I'm just not in a good mood, but I got a Diet Coke, so I'm hoping it makes me feel better. I got my Diet Coke and my water because I'm trying not to eat candy that is in my house.
Are you presenting to staff or to students?
Staff.
That's what I thought.
So
okay.
I'm presenting to advisors who help students.
Gotcha.
And so they're having kind of like a self-care, like
a personal development day.
Thank you. Personal development day. So I am one of the people. Another person who's going to present is Valerie Bush.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
What is she going to present? Like OCD?
I have no idea. But yeah, Mia told me, and she was like, do you know Valerie? And then she said her name, and I was like, I think it's Boosie. And she was like, no, it's not, Mari. And I was like, oh, so I just keep calling her that because now I forgot what Mia told me it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's presenting, so I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
So I was like, when is she going? Just in case. Like, I feel nervous now.
What time is yours?
9:45. So in and out, done. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine.
It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be fantastic. And here's the thing: I'm gonna make like little care packages. Like little, like put like 2 chocolates and like a hand sanitizer and a face mask in there, because you can get stuff like that, like the dollar store, things like that. And I'm just gonna do like everybody gets one, because I'm like, how would you not like me if I give you things?
How many people are going to be there? Do you know?
20 advisors. So I think
Okay.
probably I'll be speaking to a group of like 25, maybe 30. So, but here's the thing. It's gonna fucking happen whether I want it to or not. So
And here's the thing, if
full
we could
steam
survive,
ahead.
if we can survive presenting to teenagers, we can survive anything.
Literally anything.
So
Literally.
there's that. Yes.
We'll be fine.
Yes.
So it's gonna be good. I'm excited.
Good. I'm glad.
I'm excited. So yeah. Let's do this.
Let's do this. You want to talk about holidays first, or do you want to talk about...
I put my damn thing down here like I didn't need to look at it. Let's talk about authenticity.
I'm here for it. Well, when you hear the word authenticity, well, first of all, I need you to tell me when this happens.
I think we're
it's like an otter tail, like a fucking
anyone around. I think we're alone now. Hey, also, if you hear fucking noise, came home from Soph's soccer game and Jeff was like, oh, I'm just going to be up on the roof for a little bit and cut down some of these branches. And I was like, you didn't think to start with that when I was gone for an hour and a half? He was like, Tyson just reminded me about that I had his ladder. So
sometimes the way
I was like, I'm already irritable
they
today.
think just kind of floors me a little bit.
Do you want to be cussed out today? Is that
because that's where we're fucking heading, buddy?
We are close. We're so close.
You're fine. Yeah.
I think we're alone now. All right. Authenticity. Here we go.
What episode are we on?
34?
Yes.
Oh, save for the bell. Okay. 34. Because I was thinking if we started with the holidays, I was like, well.
Oh, fair.
Can we say that episode?
Fair point, because there's also going to be another episode before that too.
So since we're starting with authenticity, Jesus.
It's been a week.
Ma'am.
That's all I can say.
It's been a week. So when I think of authenticity, I think that there are so many different ways that we could take this. I think about showing up for yourself. I think about being true to your emotions, especially in the moment when you are going through something or when like a situation presents itself. I think being yourself in like situations where you feel like maybe you want to be goofy, you want to be silly, or say you want to do something, but something stops you or holds you back, right? Showing up as your authentic self of like, I could give a fuck what these people think about me. I'm going to do it because I want to. Mm-hmm. So those are kind of the areas where my brain goes. Where does your brain go?
Very similar to where yours was. I also feel that it has a lot to do with choosing to do things because it means something to you, not because somebody else did it, right? Mm-hmm. Like not because somebody else did it and it looks cool, but like you genuinely enjoy that, or like you genuinely like that sort of thing. Does that make sense? Yeah. And also like you were saying, choosing to do you or be you in whatever way that means, like no matter what, right? Because people are always going to judge you. So it doesn't matter. Like do what you want to do because they're going to have something to say regardless. Right. So I think for a long time, more so when I was a kid, I feel like, no, probably even into my 20s, there was a lot of things that I wouldn't engage in or talk about because like I knew there was going to be judgment, and I was like, I just don't feel like hearing about it, so I'm just gonna like keep it to myself. Whether it was something I liked or wanted to do or was interested in, I wasn't here for like somebody being like, oh, that's dumb, like why would you like that, that's so weird, right? And then as I've gotten older, I've just been like, yeah, no, I don't care what anybody has to say, so it doesn't actually matter. I think with clients, I have a lot of clients who literally have told me, I don't even know what I like. I don't even know who I am. Right. Yeah. And to try to teach somebody that, I personally feel like that can be hard.
Yeah.
Because I'm not inside your head. So I don't actually know the things that you enjoy. I don't know what fulfills you. I don't know what lights you up. I don't know what like gets you feeling saucy, right? Like you are the
Mhm.
only one that knows that. But I think people tend to panic and they're like, that's too much work. I don't even know how I figured that out. I wouldn't even know the first place to start. But if you don't, who's going to do it for you?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I've I've gotten a lot. I'm trying to be more intentional with what I say instead of saying like I think or kinda or. So if there are pauses that I am attempting to stop myself from being like, I think like we know, bitch, it's your podcast with your best friend. Like we know it's what you think. Like you're recording your thoughts. Like, yes. So I've had a lot of clients discuss that with me, have come to therapy looking for themselves and wanting direction or um, just a conversation about like how do I go about finding myself, right? And so I have the conversation with them. If I can tell you how I did it, I
Mm-hmm.
can express the way that I went about doing it and like how it felt for me and like what I needed, and you can try that, but ultimately you have to figure out what works for you, and that only comes with being able to continuously try new things. So like
Yes.
to put yourself out there out of your comfort zone, to try this new thing, to have this hard conversation, to do this, to do all of these different avenues, and then reflect on the experience that you had and whether it was beneficial or not. Like that to me was like the epitome of what helped me come to realize who I am, who I want to be, the steps that need to be taken to get there, and then future from that. Like, so like, okay, here's who I want to be. But then once I reach that, because I know that I will, once I reach that, then what does that look like? Do you
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? Like a
Mm-hmm.
5-year trajectory, a 10-year trajectory.
Because there's always going to be an evolution, right? Like
Yeah,
you're always going to want to
there
keep growing.
there
One thing that
absolutely, I think,
I
needs to be an evolution. Yes.
1,000,000%. One thing that I give people who are struggling with this kind of stuff,
Mhm.
or if they're struggling with like learning how to cope with things, right, is like the list of pleasurable activities.
Yeah.
And again, it seems like common sense. You read this piece of paper and you're like, well, duh, of course, everybody loves that. But it's not, right?
No.
I think as we get older, now I'm going to be self-conscious because I say I think all the time because it's a habit. So thanks
Don't
for
be
framing that.
self-conscious. It's not being self-conscious. Let's frame it instead of I'm going to be self-conscious. Frame it in I'm going to be more mindful. I'm going to catch it.
It's a habit.
I
So it's like
know,
the
but
first
hey,
thing that comes out of my mouth.
habits can be broken, Stephanie Carroll. Habits can be broken.
The list of pleasurable activities has everything under the sun on it that you can think of, right? It's
Yeah.
just to give people an idea of maybe you like hiking and you have no idea. Maybe you like listening to jazz music and you don't know, right? But like you said,
You.
it is trial and error,
Yes.
right? You
You
have
have
to
to try.
continuously try things. And here's the thing, it might be a day like today where you wake up and you're in a shit fucking mood and nothing from that list is going to make you feel good.
Yes.
That
Yes.
doesn't mean that tomorrow it can't.
Exactly. I know
And
damn
people
well.
get caught up on that. Like, well, I tried it, it didn't work. How many times did you try it? Well, I tried it this one day when I was already pissed off. Okay, well,
Do you
let's
think it's
give
a
it
fair
another shot.
shake? You think
Right,
you're giving it a fair shot?
right.
What's going on? I definitely noticed like today. I woke up, I went and cheered my friends on, I did my workout. It was a great workout, took my shower, and I'm irritable. I'm irritable for reasons that I am like, as I think about it more and more through the day, I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is where I could pinpoint it. But like as it's coming up before even really trying now, it's what 4 p.m. and I'm now just like pinpointing where it's coming up. But like throughout the day of like, well, I'm fucking irritable. Here's the thing. I have I have two roads. I can continuously say that, well, okay, I worked out today and I tried to eat healthy this morning and I did this and those didn't work for me. So I'm not going to try them anymore. Or I can understand that the mood in which I am in and the lens in which I am viewing things definitely hindered maybe my thought process to this point now. So I didn't give those moments a fair shake.
Mm-hmm,
Right.
mm-hmm.
So like that's how I frame it in my mind of like, I think that 5 to 10 times, realistically, I know that's a pretty big like variety, but 5 to 10 times of trying something to really realistically see if it's something that works for you or not, because there are so many variables at play that could contribute to maybe a negative experience, that I don't think it's really fair for you to just base it off of one try. Like when people tell me they've tried a breathing exercise, I'm like, have you? How many times? When? Well, it doesn't work. Well, yeah, it's not going to work when the only time you try it is when you're stressed the fuck out. Like that's not how this works. You have to teach your body how to regulate your breathing. You have to teach that, that like, it's like a muscle memory. You have to teach that.
Also, if you're going into it saying this isn't going to work, that's not helpful.
Yeah, well, you're framing it that it's not going to work. And then
convincing your brain that this is pointless.
Yes, you are like, I would love for people to understand how powerful your brain is. And I think that people who have had an experience with mental health can somewhat relate to that statement of that, yes, I understand how powerful my brain is, but your brain is a powerful, powerful organ, and it is working and it can make you believe things that aren't real, or that are not there, or aren't necessarily truthful. And so to just take what it says at value, because we are in our head and preoccupied by, negative thoughts, like it's not fair.
What has been something in your life, and maybe you have this, maybe you don't, that perhaps you struggled with owning as a part of you due to fear from other people?
It's a good question.
Does it make sense?
Yes.
Okay, because I felt like I was talking in a circle.
Part of me that I've struggled with because of fear of judgment from other people. I don't really feel like there's one specific thing, and that feels like a cop-out answer.
But if there's not, then there's not. That's why I wasn't sure if the question even made sense, because I was like, well, I don't really know if because I feel like I would know. Because I feel like it would have emerged during our friendship. You know what I'm saying?
We would have talked about it. We would have chatted about that. Looking at maybe different interactions from different points of my life, I don't think that there was one big thing that I was like, oh, I'm not being myself, I'm not being true to me. But more so like little interactions or moments with friends, if I maybe deemed myself inferior to that friend, then I would want to say or do or support things that they viewed as cool, okay, acceptable, insert whatever word that you want to, and possibly putting my thoughts or wants or needs on the back burner because I wanted to please them.
Sure.
Does that make sense? So I don't think that it was one like big thing. I think it was found in little little moments with friends.
It could be something even as like small as like your music preference, right? Where you hide like what you like as music because you're like, well, they don't like it, so that's like embarrassing.
And I think when I was younger, it was probably hiding Harry Potter, like hiding the fact that I like loved Harry Potter, or like that I loved to play with Barbies. I loved to play with them. I think I was like 12. And still, like, me and my cousin would like whatever, and I would help my grandma. Like my grandma, God rest her soul, I love her and miss her so much. We would, and my mom just brought it up. It makes me so sad. Like now, my mom is gonna start teaching Soph like how to sew because they're gonna make doll blankets for Toys for Tots. But me and my grandma would go to like Goodwill, Salvation Army, wherever. She would get a bunch of Barbies and like random bags of clothes and whatever, and we would dress the Barbies. Well, my grandma would just be there and like she would like help me, like assist me, but like I loved it. I would do their hair, I would dress them, I would give them outfits, and like we would send them down in shoeboxes to the so
it's pronounced different depending on where you live.
Yes. So Appalachian or Appalachia, whatever, those mountains in Tennessee. I think they're in Tennessee. They're in Tennessee, right?
That's somewhere down there.
I'm pretty positive they're in Tennessee because there was mission trips in senior year of high school that people went on and they went to them. So I think it's, but like, also, I was on like spooky TikTok and they said that those fucking woods are haunted and shit. And
Are you
there's
kidding? Of course they are.
skinwalkers in there and people die in there. Like, Stephanie, I was like, like I literally threw my phone. I was like, like I am, oh my God, I'm not gonna be able to sleep. Anyway, so to bring it back around, so I would help my grandma dress them. We would send them down for Toys for Tots for the impoverished areas down there. So I think that that was a moment where I said, I think, and so that's all that's playing in my head right now because I said, I'm like, you said it. That was definitely an area where I was like, oh, I'm not going to tell anybody about that. Other than that, the only moments I can really call to memory are like little conversations where I don't have like specifics, but definitely where I swallowed like who I was or what I wanted or my thoughts or feelings just to make other people comfortable because I wanted to make them comfortable. I also feel like that's a very Gemini thing though, of like being a chameleon to fit in everywhere.
Sure.
To not rock the boat. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I even think about things such as what? Ew.
Ew.
People's belief systems, right? That could be a very touchy subject.
Yes.
And that could be a subject that is very touchy for your family. So if you go against it, that's going to cause problems. It's going to make waves.
Yeah.
And it's always been very interesting to me in my family because like, dude, if I told you like my whole family history on both sides, you'd be like, what? That's why you're so weird.
Because the shit that you have told me, I'm like,
you're like, that's why you're so weird because you're fucking family, bro.
No,
like,
no part of me was like, that's why you're weird. I'm like, ooh, your family had trauma.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm like, let me dig in that for a little bit.
That and just different belief systems, right? Whether it's because like the Italian side, like whether it's because of their like superstitions or whatever. But like when you really narrow it down, I want to be like, y'all are into witchcraft and you don't even know, and you want to act like it's Jesus. And that's fine if that's what you want to believe. But it's not, right? I remember my mom tried to force me to go to church when I was younger. We're not even a religious family.
I know. Why are you going?
I went to Catholic school for 3 years. I really think it was because like we're Italian. I'm going to send her to Catholic. Yes, bitch. Kindergarten, first and second grade, I went to Catholic school.
Knock it off, and they had to stop you because you started getting welts and boils.
I started burning up when I walked into the building every day, and they were like,
the Holy fucking Spirit was like, this fucking demon.
I walk into the fucking church for mass. There's fucking flames, like
this Jezebel.
Yes. So I went to Catholic school when I was a kid, and it was too expensive, which is why I think they took me out. I'm thankful they took me out. But as I got older, my brother probably was like, I don't know, 2 or 3. My mom's like, we're gonna start going to church. And I was like, no, I'm not. And she was like, yes, you are. And I was like, you're not forcing me to go to church. And when I uttered the words, it's like a cult to me. She was so disappointed. I was like, Mom, we stand up, we kneel, we sing, we do everything that they say that we're supposed to do. We're following a leader. I don't like it. And that's like a kid me. And was I just being like rebellious? Maybe, but I truly feel like I felt that. And that wasn't for me. I am not knocking anybody who is religious. You believe what you want to believe. That is fine. That's just not my belief system.
Right.
My mom, again, she's not super religious, but that really bothered her. And then when I got pregnant with Bug, then the question of like, well, are you going to baptize them? And I said, no. What? I'm like, why would I? I don't believe in that. So why would I do that? Right.
Mm-hmm.
But for a long time, I didn't live authentically to my beliefs because of fear of judgment from family.
Yeah.
Until I got to the point where I was like, yep, I don't care anymore. Like, I'm gonna do me.
So you know I'm a witch. Bye.
Like, I don't care anymore.
Burn in hell. Bye.
And nobody asks me about it, and that's fine. They don't have to, and they don't have to understand it. It's not their life, right?
I will say, I connect it in my brain. I don't know if other people will, but like, I think of it like so my dad is one of 12, and I am one of 45, I think. And Soph is one of 50 plus and growing. And there is one great grandchild already born. There is, I cannot even think of her name, and I know my Aunt Janice, who is the great grandma to that little girl, listens to this, and I feel like a straight up asshole for not knowing. And it's not.
Well,
It's
there's
not
1,000 of you. It's
not even going to come to
kind
me.
of hard.
And that poor little baby. Ugh, she had COVID.
Oh my
She's a
God.
trooper. Yeah, trooper made it. Beautiful. God, she's gorgeous. She was freaking beautiful. Anyways, that's not what it's about. But so obviously there is a plethora of us. And so I don't go to family functions. I've just stopped. And I stopped long before COVID happened. And I think that before I used to go because my dad does not verbalize emotions. So in my mind, I have derived like, okay, well, he wants us to be there. He wants us to show up. He wants us to not like save face, but like present for his side of his like part of the family. Because I think deep down, dad's proud of us. I know he doesn't say it much, but deep down, I know he is, because I think it also brought him great joy when my papa was alive. My papa would always, like, when we made honor roll or when we got in the paper or anything like that, like my papa would bring it up to my dad, and my dad would be like, you know, Papa mentioned this, and I'd be like, oh, did he? Do you fucking love me? Like,
did you mention it?
Are you
Did
fucking
you fucking
proud of me yet? Are you proud of me? Don't tell me. That's weird. Papa's told me he's proud of me. So I just don't go because it's over fucking whelming. And so I know that can be, I would go all the time, right? I would attempt to show up. I would be there for my dad. However, starting to really come into my own and understand myself, it is over fucking whelming. It is overstimulating. No part of me gets anxious. No part of me is like, oh, I can't handle it. It is just, I am overstimulated. I feel like again, like there is a horn honking, the dryer's on, somebody's talking to me, music's going, there's a light everywhere. Like, I am like, oh, I gotta get out. Like, it's too much. Like, it's like I start to like itch. I'm like, oh my God, stop talking to me. Like, it's entirely too much. And then because half of my dad is just heavily sarcastic, so then you're met with sarcasm too. And I'm like, I don't have the fucking wherewithal to battle back, and like I'm just gonna say some rude shit, and it's not gonna be nice, right?
I'm just gonna hurt your feelings.
Oh yeah, it's not. You're gonna be upset. Like, and I think the frustrating thing that could show up is it could look like, well, Mari doesn't care about the family. Mari's not showing up. Mari's not.
She's being selfish.
Yeah, she's being selfish. Like, you're not coming to these events. Here's the thing. If I only went to my fucking family's events, I would have a full calendar year planned before the fucking year even started. The whole fucking year would be planned. So here's the thing. I'm not going to be able to come to everyone. I'm not. And I don't expect you to come to every calendar event I have. Here's the thing. I also don't have birthday parties for my kid. So there's a reason you're not catching invites from me, because I don't have them. Like, I just don't. It's unnecessary. She is a loved child. She does not need 3 MF and birthday parties a damn year. Like, she's gonna get to middle school and her head is gonna be so damn big. She's gonna be like, excuse me, like,
what do I do with all this?
Yeah. And I'm gonna be like, this ass, who raised her? So it's when I decided to stop going, I really had to look at what that cognitive error that showed up for me of like, well, people are going to think this, they're going to think this. So this mind reading, this fortune telling, it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter what they think. It does not matter. What matters is that I am doing what is needed and necessary and healthy for myself. And if a grown fucking adult has a question about what I, as another grown fucking adult, am doing in my life, you can ask me. And I'll have that conversation with you. Until then, we're not going to talk about it because you're not coming to me and talking about it. And here's the thing. I'm not going to sit here and pretend to know and or give a shit if you think some other type of way about it.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I care about what my grandma thinks. Care about what grandma thinks and grandma thinks only. And grandma knows that I love the shit out of her. That tiny little woman who raised 12 children and started this whole Hoagland takeover. We're coming for you. Coming to a city near you.
Live from Saturday night.
All of us. It'd be the worst Saturday night show ever. Oh my God. Just sarcasm. Everyone would be like, this is so dry. I'm not even sure if this is a joke anymore. Is this real or no? Dry sense of humor and self-deprecation. We are on SNL. That is us. That is the Hoaglands.
I think back to when I was younger too, and as far as appearances go, right?
Yeah. Yes.
And yes, I would do things to my appearance that were trendy, right? So I'm thinking about like when I dyed my hair when I was younger. I was never meant to be a blonde.
Oh, nope.
I was never fully blonde, right? Like I had the chunky fucking blonde highlights, and I was like blonde, black, and brown, like Kelly Clarkson at one point, like 2003 era, right?
Yes.
At the end of the day, I think I was terrified to look how I look now.
Yeah.
Because of what my parents would think.
Yeah.
Right. So I didn't live authentically as me because my parents are going to be disappointed. The first time I dyed my hair black, my mom's like, I don't like it. I said, well, that's fine. It's not your hair. Right. She was like, I'm just not used to seeing you with such dark hair. Like my hair's dark brown anyways. I know black is much different, but it's not like I was fucking strawberry blonde to begin with and I went to black. Right. Like that would be drastic.
Just a fair skinned girl.
Right.
Me.
Right. Same thing with tattoos. I started getting tattoos when I was 18. I got very small tattoos because my parents were not fans. And so I was getting them to hide them. Even when I moved out, I would hide them because I'm like, they're going to be so mad at me. And then I just got to the point where I was like, yeah, guess what? I don't care anymore. So they're just going to have to accept it because they're not going anywhere. So, and now my mom's like, oh my God, look at my daughter and her tattoos. I'm like, oh, now you want to show me off.
No, it's okay.
Now it's okay.
Okay. I see.
Yesterday, when I went to CJ's show, my cousin she's like 14 years older than me. So she's like CJ calls her aunt and she's my cousin, right?
Yeah.
It's like that kind of thing. She goes, I heard you guys got tattoos. So I showed her my hand. I could see it in her face. She hated it.
Hair. Okay. Fix your hair.
I could see it in her face that she hated it. She goes,
it's
so pretty. And I want to be like, you don't have to be, if you hate it, that's okay. I like it. That's all.
Yeah, you don't have to like it. It's okay. It's on me. It's on me, not you.
I was like, I wish I could record your fucking face right now because I can see that you don't like it.
I'd see. And so here's the thing of like, when you really step into that authenticity, part of me is like, now I start calling attention to that of like, but do you think it's pretty? Because your face is saying otherwise. Like, you don't have to like it. It's okay. Yes. You can just say what you want to say.
You're not going to offend me.
Right. I could give a fuck if you like anything about me. I love you, your family. Hey, more power to us, but I could give a fuck if you like me.
Yes.
And not in a sassy, and that is what I hope people understand from this conversation, that when you step into authenticity and you really start to look at living for you and for your true authentic self, it is not, and it should never look like this projection of anger or defensiveness or distrust of people. You're not doing this out of spite.
You're doing it because it makes you happy.
Right. I'm not like, fuck you. I don't care if you don't like me. I like me. But like, it's more so of just like, you are allowed to have your opinions and that's okay. And I have my opinions and we can coexist peacefully. That is what I'm here for.
Yep.
I am not going to argue with you or waste my time on that because that is not productive to me. But I also see and understand and value that you are your own human being and you have thoughts and feelings too.
Yep.
Not even to say, does that make sense? Because I know it fucking does. I know that you know that because you're like, yes, bitch, yes.
It absolutely makes sense. 100%. My hope is that everybody can get to a point where they feel confident and comfortable and fucking amazing in who they are. And if they struggle to do so, that they do the work to get there. It's not easy. Just like anything else we talk about, it's not fucking easy. It takes work, it takes effort, but the payoff is amazing. And that's what you're here. Like, that's what you're here for, is to get to that point where you can be like, fuck yeah, I love me. And that's all that matters.
a great place to start if you are looking to start to identify authentic areas of your life where you can show up would be identify what kind of music you like.
Mhm.
Listen to that music. Listen to the lyrics. What fits with you? Identify. Pinterest was huge for me when I was really trying to figure out who I wanted to be,
Mm.
right? Of like how I wanted to step into my power, how I wanted to be myself, because it had a lot of memes and quotes that were validating.
I was
So
gonna
it
say, what
wasn't
did
that
you look up? Was it quotes? Okay.
it was motivational quotes, inspirational quotes, sad quotes, quotes about divorce, like all types of things, because words speak to me.
Yep.
Absolutely. Like lyrics, words, quotes, motivational speeches, those things really fucking get me. So when I was like, okay, here are some qualities that I want to emulate and that I want to be like. And then how do I go about and get those qualities? Here are some goals and achievements that I want to surpass by this time. Like, how do I start building those blocks to get there? Right. So Pinterest was huge for me because it was like, okay, I'm going to start kind of like building this dream house board. I'm going to start building this tattoo board because like you, my parents were like, you can't get tattoos.
Yeah.
The devil. And my dad was like, you have to be out of college. I'm not fucking paying for your college. If you're in college, I'm not fucking paying for it. So blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay. And hey, I realistically feel like that saved me because I wanted some stupid ass tattoos in the beginning. Dumb
Oh, same.
as fuck. Dumb. So I'm glad that I had that fear of Richard H in my life of like,
Right.
dad's going to be upset. So I don't want to displease dad. But then like at 24, I was like, fuck it. I'm going to do what I want. And even to this point, like sometimes I like, Jeff's like, you don't need any more tattoos, Mari. You don't need any more piercing.
Hey.
And now we're having this conversation and I'm like, I'm gonna fucking go pierce my nose again. Like,
Yeah.
the fuck? I'm gonna do
I
what I
tried
want
to
to
tell you to
do.
do that in the Dells. I was like, fuck that, do it.
I should literally shut up.
You should
Fucking
have.
shut up. He doesn't pay attention to anything. He's so oblivious. I have that it's like a swizzle earring.
Yeah.
So like it swizzles in and like it's like a corkscrew, right? So I say swizzle. What the fuck? It like corkscrews in. I put one in my nose and he was like, nothing. Didn't even notice. And I was like,
So it wouldn't even matter.
I was like,
Just don't even tell him that you're doing it. You come home with it. He wouldn't even know.
I was like, you don't notice anything? He was like, why are you doing that with your face? And I was like, you don't see anything? Nothing. So yeah, I'm gonna go do it. I think the biggest thing that would be noticed is that it's not a ring. It wouldn't be a ring anymore. It'd be two studs.
Is that how you
While
want it
it's
to be? As two
healing.
studs?
Well, while it's healing.
I pierced
I
mine
don't.
with a hoop.
If it can be a hoop, then I want a hoop. But I
Yeah.
don't like the.
The ball?
Is it the hoop with the ball though?
You can hide the ball.
Yeah.
So
No,
it'll
I'm
just like
fucking
rub
taking
against
mine
your
out.
nose.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go get that done. Who knows when? Oh my gosh, now I have to because this episode's gonna come out and they're like, bitch, you don't have your fucking nose pierced. You're not living authentically. I love when the podcast holds me accountable. So Pinterest was huge for me, right? So tattoo board, quote board, all these different things of like what I wanted my house to look like, what I wanted the remodel to look like, all these things, because this is what I wanted to be. This is who I wanted to step into, this power of somebody who is really living as their authentic self.
Mhm.
And I tried everything. I tried pole classes. I tried lyra classes. I tried aerial acrobatic shit. Silks classes. I tried aerial yoga. I mean, we did rock climbing. I tried everything. Played on a volleyball team. And now that I fucking love that. Like I put myself fucking out there.
Mhm.
And I did things alone. Yes, I did things alone. I went and ate alone. I tried, like, I went different places alone, did a bunch of hikes, like, got out in nature, really, really stepped into, like, the things that I loved as a child, which I loved poetry as a child. I love music. I've always loved music. I love coloring, drawing, painting, like, I love those things when there's no expectations on it, right? Because then if there's expectations on it, then I'm like, this isn't good enough.
Yep.
So that is where I urge you to start. I urge you to take a legal pad, sit down, really start writing out what you or who you want to be in 5 years, and be specific with it. What does that person look like? What does that person drive? What do they wear? What do they eat? How do they behave? What do they drink? Who are their friends? Who do they hang around with? What do they say in certain situations? Like that to me is then how you start building that person, and then finding those different outlets to help start to support you to be that way.
Yep.
Make sense?
Absolutely.
I don't feel like I'm Miss Debbie Downer anymore.
Good.
I don't feel like Susie Smiles, but I feel mediocre Melinda. I feel
I feel like
mediocre
a mellow
Melinda.
Mallory right now.
I am mellow Mallory.
Good.
And also
Those could be
some things to be said about yes. Some things to be said about Diet Coke, because Diet Coke is from the heavens.
Did you get it from McDonald's or from your
I
house?
love a good no, Jeff gets the little cans
Little
when he
baby
goes
ones?
grocery shopping, because I can't be trusted with a 12 pack. It'll be gone in 12 days. I will not allow myself to have 2 a day. But I will definitely have one Diet Coke birthday if it is in the house. But if they're the little cans and it's a 6-pack, I'm like, I have to make these last. So I space them out.
Good for you.
I love Diet Coke so much. Anyways, I am very hopeful that this gave people a starting point to be able to start to identify the person that they want to be like, and or continue on the journey that they are already on. If you have questions, concerns, or comments, please email us at rewritingherstory@gmail.com. We would love
Rewritingherstorypodcast@gmail.com.
rewritingherstorypodcast@gmail.com. We would love to help you and or answer any questions you may have. Any concerns, complaints, comments, message us. I am at BEA_XO11. Stephanie is at SpookyFitMom13. We are at Rewriting Her Story Podcast on YouTube and Instagram. And yeah, this feels good.
Good. I'm glad.
So if y'all need anything, we're here. Other than that, we will catch you in the next episode.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, bye.
Bye.